Hello and welcome to the latest episode of How I Failed in Business, the business podcast that is designed to help you remember that failures happen, mistakes happen, and that we're not all perfect as long as we learn from our mistakes. I'm Rob Spence, one of your hosts, and I'm with, as always,
Sophia Grace, your other host.
Oh, this is the first
There was
one.
a real breath there in the middle.
I forgot who my name was. And today we're joined by Matt Bull. Coach Matt Bull. I completely forgot how to introduce you. And it's only because we just said off camera, you're a multifaceted kind of guy. You've got loads going on. So tell us about you. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Great to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so I suppose the core bit is business coach. I've got an action coach franchise in Loughborough. We cover Leicestershire, so that's helping business owners grow their businesses, but I say grow your business without forgetting what matters most. So I'm big on making sure that your family relationships and what matters to you is incorporated into running a business. But also use the coaching skills along with my background in professional services, so in accounting and restructuring. So now I do some exec coaching for partners of professional services firms as well. So any way I can kind of support individuals in their growth journey, I'm kind of into that, hence the Coach Matt Bull thing that gets banded around a bit.
I like it. And I've got to say, you know, I really like your sort of, I'll say thesis, but sort of like your kind of priorities on coaching, because I know you're very family orientated. In fact, I think I recall a video, potentially you're in front of a trampoline in your garden perhaps, and you're kind of talking about the importance of spending time with family, which is so important, isn't it? I think. So where does that kind of motivation come from?
It was from my own sort of personal upbringing and sort of seeing, from how my family was growing up, also seeing friends and their dads working and being out of the family home a lot, and kind of just going, actually, you know, put one of the action coach phrases like being in business should give you more life. And I think it's really easy for business owners to kind of think they assume this identity of like the hustle and the, you know, working long hours is great and everything like that. But I kind of go, if you can have all the money in the world, but if your wife or your partner thinks you're a bit of an idiot and you don't see your kids and you're overweight and your mental health's through the floor, like what's the point in having the business? So I'm big on that with all the people I work with. To the extent now I don't work with people if they're just sort of money focused, because I'm like, if our values don't align, I'm not really too interested in helping you. I'll always try and help anyone because it's sort of our coach's nature, as it were. But yeah, I just think it's just really important. Like, life's short. And if you're going to make that call to set up your own business, which is hard, probably harder than ever to actually grow a business, you've got to enjoy it along the way. It's not about some utopian thing at the end where you go, I'm finished and I'm happy. You've got to try and enjoy the journey as much as you can as well, because it is hard. So
I think that's like a good lesson for life, isn't it? I think we always think that, you know, what's that old saying? I think I took it from One Tree Hill, actually. I think that, like, you know, happiness isn't a destination, it's a journey, right? And it's everything you do in between, kind of thing. And I know you are, you know, so you run and operate Action Coach Loughborough.
Yep.
So what sort of do Action Coach stand for? Because I don't think we've spoken to any business coaches. Oh, we have, but more independents, haven't we? I think. But where did sort of Action Coach come in, and how do they stand out?
So for me, you know, the Action Coach as an organisation has been going about 30 years now. From a founder's sort of philosophy perspective, like a guy called Brad Sugars, he is that being in business should give you more life. And he was sort of fed up with seeing business owners having seemingly successful businesses or trying to be successful, but actually having like a rubbish life. So the framework that we kind of use, like I call it the toolkit, is designed to get that business working without you. Because I think actually from all the money perspective that, you know, clearly we need money to do a lot of things in life. Actually, running a business should be about freedom and choice. And that freedom and choice comes from having the time, energy and money you need or want in order to live the life that you want. So that toolkit's just really important for me. It aligns with my experience of sort of advising and running businesses myself. And that sort of mindset insight that I try and help people with, because I think that's the biggest difference to growing a business is mindset. At the end of the day, the tools are the easy bit. Everyone can read a book. Unless you can sort what's going on up here out, you're only going to get so far. I like being in the community as well. I think running a business is a lonely place for anyone. The same applies to me. I'm on a growth journey as well. So being part of that community is important. And yes, that's how Action Coach feeds into what I do.
Amazing.
I think this is really interesting. We had Gary Parsons on the podcast the other day, who has the Leaders in Disguise podcast, which is all sort of about the support that leaders actually need to be able to then provide that for the team that's working for them. And I think it's really nice to see that there is a kind of rise in starting at the top and seeing how that then feeds down. Yep. Do you think that is something that, obviously through your business you are, of course, but leaders in general, do you think they're getting a bit more focused now, or do you think it's still kind of an underrepresented group, really?
I think leaders, I think generally getting support or coaching or training or whatever it might, mentorship, whatever it might be, is generally more mainstream than it ever has been. I think there's been a big push in, I've probably noticed a difference in the last year. For example, normally we would tend to get busier in January. Okay, so people coming and going, right, this is the year. You know, I've had a break over Christmas. I've come back. I've had 2 weeks in work and I've realised it's exactly the same as last year. Well, it's funny that, because just stepping out of your business 7 days doesn't mean it changes. I'm really busy at the moment. We're in December with people coming and going, right, next year, I want to get ready for next year now. Can we do something now to get ready for next year? I don't think it's seen as a weakness. I don't think it's seen as I only use a coach if my business is in trouble. And I think there's so much information out there, as we all know, whether it's AI, whether it's social media, or whatever it might be, about what being a good leader looks like, that sort of mantra of, if you haven't got a coach or some form of support, you're missing out, is actually sinking in now. And people are going, yeah, it is really hard. You know, the owner is the one that probably has a sleepless nights more than other people in the business. So I think they're realising they have to get the support, because without them being at the top of their game, how can they expect everybody else to do anything near what is their potential?
Yeah, and I think it's a really valid point. Like I'm in the same camp as you. I believe that everyone should have a coach of some variety. And I know there's like businesses out there, or business owners, and please correct me if I'm wrong, who are like, no, I know everything. You can't teach me. You can't coach me. And my argument is, like, even the best performing athletes in the world are still coached and taught. You know, like I'm a massive Leicester City fan. Jamie Vardy still has coaching day by day for his finishing. Probably one of the best Premier League strikers of our generation, still coached. You know, do you get that? Do you ever get sort of like business owners sort of going, no, I know, I know they're definitely not your audience if that's the case, but do you ever kind of get that pushback at all?
Yeah, I think you get you don't know enough about my sector. What you know, you don't know anything about my business. And I just go, yeah, that's actually a really positive thing, because I'll just ask you some really simple questions. So why do you do it that way? And it comes from this place of care and as a coach, and people go, well, that's how we've always done it. And you can just open up a little bit of, well, I wonder if there is another way, or something like that. A completely cold. I mean, my clients at the moment, sectors are like all sorts. People go, what sector are you? I'm like, well, the sector doesn't matter. It's about personal growth. Yeah. The personal growth is what affects the business growth. And as I said earlier, the business growth is the easy bit. Like, if you want to, you guys are amazing at sales. If people want to get good at sales, you can get good at sales. Yeah. Right? But people don't think about getting good up here. And they'll say, I always say, if you got a mindset of being £100,000 turnover business owner, your business ain't going to grow past it. If it does, you'll get found out, because you'll annoy your clients, your team will leave and things like that. So actually shifting the mindset to start thinking like £1 million turnover, whatever's next, the rest will follow. Yeah, the rest will follow.
I think there is such a mindset, and I think it applies. Obviously, I'm not a business leader myself, but just as someone that works in business, engages with business all the time, that the thing that will come last just in your life is happiness. And that once all of your ducks are in a row, finally, that's when you'll be happy. And there's such a thing of it being pushed back to benchmarks and benchmarks. When I get this house, I'll be happy. When I've reached this target, I'll be happy. And I can't imagine how much that must be tenfold for someone that actually has such increased responsibility. Obviously, I'm speaking more to Rob than I am to myself. But yeah, I can't even really comprehend, I guess.
What I often see is, and you, Rob, you'll probably see this with successful business owners you can think of, is they'll come to me and there's normally some form of pain or dissatisfaction or a situation that they want to address, which is great, because I think you need a bit of negativity to move away from, but we need to create something to move forward to. And we always do sort of life planning. I'm big on that. Like, what does a good life look like? And invariably, people will be interested. You'll get the houses, you'll get the cars, you'll get the clothes, you'll get the whatever it might be. So quite material type things. And we do that, and they get that. And then after a year, 18 months, how long it's taken, they'll come and they'll go, "It's not about that, is it, Matt?" And I go, should we do the good stuff now? Because actually, it's who you become is what matters most. I know guys who drive, Lamborghinis, they got whatever you want, still like annoyed on a day-to-day basis, probably still snap at the kids and, do things, behaviours that they shouldn't be doing. So you can have all the stuff, but if you've not got this sorted and this sorted, what type of life that's my view, by the way. That's not it's a Matt Ball fact, not a fact. But yeah, it happens. It does happen.
I like it. So I'll ask you, what does success look like for you in your business?
So I have goals, as you'd expect, about the sales, profit, all that type of good stuff. But that's just a metric of how to measure the result, really. So for me, day to day, if I'm helping the number of people that I want to help, that's really important. We get the profit results for people. We have to. It's business coaching. You make an investment. I have to deliver bottom line improvement. Otherwise, it's a lot of money to have a nice chat each month. The difference I make to people's lives is what I'm kind of care about more than anything. So getting to the parents' evenings, running the marathon, losing the weight, whatever it might be, people all have their personal goals. So we make sure that people have their personal goals set and their business goals. But the personal goals are what matters, and it's people realizing their potential. Like, we're human beings, like we're amazing at developing like negative thought patterns and views of ourselves and views of the world. I quite enjoy, like, I was going to say breaking people, but that's probably the wrong word. Breaking
you heard it here first. Yeah.
But literally saying to people, is that the case? Like your belief, a belief is something you currently hold to be true. So if I can actually get someone to go, the belief that you're not capable of growing your business, which is what a lot of business owners think, they imposter syndrome, winging it, all this usual stuff. If actually someone can actually go, I deserve to be where I'm at and I'm capable of more, it's a pretty good day's work, So, yeah, I'm same. I want freedom and choice. I want the time, energy and money to do what I want to do and live a great life. And I do that by affecting great lives in other people. So, worst things to do.
I love that. And I will say, and I'm not here to blow smoke anywhere, but I do generally think, even we've not worked together personally, but even just seeing some of your little videos, some of your little snippets, you are inspirational to business owners, because I think there's been a very damaging, I think it's dying off again now, which is nice. There's been a damaging trend of, unless you're up at 4 a.m. in the morning, working at your desk until 12 o'clock at night, you are not a good business owner. And I think that damaged many people's versions of what business should be. And, I like you, I think family time is the most important time. And you've kind of stood up and said, no, actually, I want to do business so that I can have that freedom. Like you say, I can go to the parents' evening, I can go to it's Christmas nativity time of year, isn't it? To have that freedom, which is so important, right? It
is. And I think this idea that, £1 million turnover is, some mythical number that's going to, again, make you happy. Social media is about the hustle, get up at 4 a.m, do this, do that, and it's about figuring out what works for you. I think there's a lot, social media. I mean, Gary Vee's talking a lot now. You don't want to call it social media anymore. He said it's like information media, because the social element of it has gone. Facebook was a community-based thing initially. Sort of Instagram was as well. It was post to your friends. Now people use Instagram to get information about things. But a lot of that information is, I can give you £1 million turnover in 90 days. Just complete. I'm trying not to swear on this podcast, but
you can if you want.
But complete rubbish that is never practical. But people will do it, and then a load of people start businesses on this premise that it's some sort of utopian way of operating, and that you can have the freedom immediately without doing a load of hard work on your business and on yourself, because it is hard.
No. So before we play, I gave you hours of days and weeks of preparation for our game of Fail or Fiction. Just before we come on to that, if there was sort of like one thing, because obviously we get listened to by a lot of business owners around the world, still big in, what's the country?
Malawi.
We're still massive in Malawi. We're actually in the top 10 of all time podcasts.
Excellent. I need to get some more presence there. So
yeah, well, this is
We can totally help.
chance. If there's one thing, you know, like a business owner sat there listening to this, and that there's something going on, and they think, right, I should probably speak to Matt about this. What's the kind of? I'll use the term red flag, or potentially a white flag. What's the thing that they should go at? Yeah.
For me, it's like the personal bit of it. Like we all know as individuals when things are a bit out of keel. You're not sleeping, you're drinking too much, you're not doing the exercise. So there's an inner source of frustration, whether that's that I didn't think it would be like this, or that I'm letting my wife down, my kids down, or my husband. When people just think, I didn't think it would be like this, and it's a lot harder than I thought, that for me is kind of when I'm like, let's just have a chat. And it's a chat, and it can be whatever you want, like walk in the woods, beer, coffee, whatever. But people, as human beings as well, things when the pressure comes on, we insulate. The last thing we want to do is talk to one about it. And what you could be under the most amount of pressure in the world, and I could say, "How's business from you?" It's fine, really good. That's what we say.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We never go. Actually, do you know what, it's really tough at the moment? Yeah. I love saying to people, if it's tough, I go, yeah, it's tough at the moment. People are like shocked. You're a business coach. Yeah, but still running a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel better for expressing the vulnerability. And I've learned that because I've been head down, don't share anything with anyone. And I've just learned through my own sort of coaching experiences that. So for me, it's kind of like, it's like when you know.
Yeah.
But we're just really good through whether it's society pressure, whether we don't want to burden our partners or our friends with our own. We know when something's not quite right, and when people do something about it, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
I work with people and they always go, the people who are sort of a bit been in business a while, 20 years. I get a lot of, I wish I'd like met you at the start. I get a lot of people on their second businesses who come and go, right, I'm going to do it properly this time. So life's a great teacher of lessons, isn't it?
It certainly is. It certainly is. And we want to learn about those lessons. And of course, I think fail or fiction is a good way to do that.
Yeah.
So today, Molly is away. Molly's gallivanting again.
Yeah, she's gallivanting in London this time.
Is it London this time? Lucky girl. But so today, behind the mic, behind the camera, we've got Connor. We've got a guy called Connor doing some experience with us. How are you today, Connor?
Not too bad, thanks for asking.
Good. How's the experience of being producer today?
It is quite interesting to be able to see the behind the scenes of a podcast that you're not really used to. I mean, you don't exactly think about what's going on behind the scenes if you watch a podcast. It's more just everything's happening in front of you, but it isn't. It's quite nice to see and be able to do.
Absolutely. And it's harder than we give Molly credit for sometimes. So really appreciate you helping out. So we're going to play Fail or Fiction. So Connor, if you can cue the Fail or Fiction music for me. For those that have never played or watched the show before, Fail or Fiction is a very simple game. We've asked you to prepare three stories. Yeah. So two of them we're hoping are true.
Yeah.
One of them is false, and Sophia and I have to guess.
Try and guess.
Which is which, and obviously Connor can get involved as well. So have you prepared the?
Yeah, I had like about 3 minutes before I got here where I was able to.
Well, you're doing well. We once told a guest as they were, I think, sat in the chair. Rob said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I forgot to tell you. Can you prepare this?"
I completely forgot, but yeah. So please do share those stories one by all in sort of like one full swoop, and then we'll dig deeper on them.
Okay. So these stories are based on my sort of background where I used to work in restructuring and selling businesses, which is the experience advising businesses led me to becoming a coach. So the first one is that I once got involved in quite a heated exchange in voicemails with Peter Jones from Dragon's Den when selling a business.
Okay.
The other story is that I once got involved in a more positive negotiation with the model Caprice when selling a lingerie business.
Okay.
And the third
Sounds
story
like you've had such a hard life.
And the third story is that I also got involved in a very heated negotiation with Stelios from EasyJet.
Oh. So, we've talked about Stelios.
We have.
Quite a few times.
We have.
Because of his recent sort of, barrage of cease and desist letters on.
Wow.
On anything easy. We were talking about Easy Life, the band.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Peter Jones,
Yep.
Caprice,
Yep.
Mhm.
okay, and a heated argument discussion with Stelios.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have to dig a bit deeper into these because you've played this game quite tight. You've kept your cards close to your chest. We've had
Yeah.
guests that've told us so much.
Yeah, but sometimes they're red herrings.
They are red
So
herrings.
are we allowed to ask questions?
I think we can.
I think we might need to.
I think, yeah, maybe like one question per story. Do you have a burning question you want to ask then?
In regards to the Dragon's Den one, can you sort of go into more detail as to what the exchange was about?
Yep.
Good question.
So we were selling a business, and it was quite a large business. And imagine, I say large, sort of multi-million pound type stuff. And if you imagine a room like this, and there was something on the wall that was kind of like an antique, and we'd fallen out over something else about picking some form of delivery for some items that were part of the deal. So it become a bit heated about that, and I got a voicemail from him saying, "We're coming to collect the antique in the boardroom." And I said, "That's not part of the deal, Peter," because there was a very clear list of things that he was buying, and it didn't specify this. So in the spirit of the deal, he believed he bought it, but because he'd annoyed us slightly, I said, "You're not having it because it's not specified in the list."
Okay.
Just a bit of an axe to grind.
Yeah, I just thought
I like it.
I do like that story. Okay.
I like telling a dragon, no, you can't have it
No.
because I said so.
No, you can't. Okay, so we got that one. Which one do you want to dive deeper on?
Shall we do lingerie sales?
Well, I think we should.
Shall we get into that as a business?
I'm not going to object.
Okay. So this was a much more positive conversation.
Yep.
Positive.
Yep.
What are we taking?
You could say
positive. What are we taking positive to mean in this context?
Well, I think that's what we need to ask, isn't it? I think we need to understand what the conversation.
Yeah, I guess similar sort of question again, really.
So Caprice had a line of lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she still does, actually. It's not sort of on my list of things that I...
Don't follow on Instagram.
And there was a lingerie business that was in trouble, and she had a particular line that was sold through this lingerie business, but she was interested in inquiring the rest of the business. And she's obviously, I think she's American or Canadian accent type thing. So when we were sitting there on the conference call, she was very positive about coming to see it, and she went, "Listen, guys, if you need me to come up and just try the stuff on, I'll do it. But can we just make it happen?"
I like it.
Okay. So we'll probably dig deeper into the last one, then we'll take a quick little break. So, I mean, Stelios has been a fond favourite of ours.
He's been a bit of a friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we've not had a cease and desist letter about the colouring that we've got on our branding. Sorry, just remind me. So this isn't my question, by the way.
Again,
Okay,
another tense conversation.
So this was a tense conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we allowed to know what the conversation was about?
Yeah, it was about him buying a toilet roll manufacturer that was in trouble.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Right. So. Okay. Right. Where's your heart going, Sophia? Where are you thinking?
I can expand on the Stelios one a bit if you want.
Okay.
Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, the toilet roll business was called Easy Wipe.
Was it actually? Now I feel like I may have been had here.
I mean, I kind of want to keep this one in
I
the
want to
bag
keep it going
because,
and I really hope it's true.
well, the thing is, I'll be honest. The second you said, this toilet business, I thought, well, that's clearly made up. But then I thought, actually, you're going to need them for planes.
I was thinking, was it related or was it a separate?
Okay, so let's pause Stelios for a second, unless we're being really played along here. Which of those three stories, Connor, do you think is a true story?
of the true ones, I'd say the second one sounds the most legit.
The Caprice
yeah,
one?
Caprice.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so. Shall we lock in on Caprice as
Shall
being
we?
a true story?
Story
Alright.
number
Yeah?
2.
Yeah.
We're
Matt?
saying true.
Caprice is true.
Yes. Well done, Connor.
There we
Well
go.
done. So, how long ago was this? When did that happen?
That's about 15 years ago, like back in the day, sort
Mm.
of 20s, doing that type of thing.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So you don't speak to her anymore?
No, I wish I'd kept a number actually.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. But it all went, it sounds like it. So did the sale
Positive
go
deal,
through in the end?
positive deal,
Yeah.
all good.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
She
fantastic.
didn't have to come and try
Did
anything
she?
on.
Yeah,
no,
I was going to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
she should have made it a bit more difficult, I think. Because that's quite nice. Because something we didn't talk about at the start of the podcast is now, with your past experiences, you've got your brokerage arm and you kind of help businesses sort of support in brokering their businesses. Is that something that's sort of just I hate the term, but a side hustle, or is it a focus, or is it just there?
It more came about because I think the idea of just working for 30, 40 years, then selling your business is sort of gone a bit. It's a bit old school. There's a lot of business owners, whether they're in the 30s or 40s, whatever, going, actually, an exit is something that I want, whether it's due to the, realising some cash from the hard work they've done, whether it's because they've realised they've built quite a successful business and it's been 20 years of hard work, and actually they think, I fancy seeing the kids and doing some great stuff in my life. A lot of business owners going, it's actually really hard, a lot harder than it's ever been, and they want to do something else. So I coach people to that point. So now I just do the next bit, which is aligned with my background, to actually help them through that actual process and negotiation and all that type of stuff.
Oh, amazing.
Perfect.
Well, we'll dig a bit deeper into the other two stories after the break, if that's all
That's
okay.
cool,
So
yep.
stay tuned for these messages and we'll be back in just a second.
Do you need digital marketing services?
No, you cut me off.
You weren't going to say anything.
What even is digital marketing? That's something we hear from clients all the time. It's an ever-changing world on the internet at the moment, and you can't be expected to know it all, but we can, and we do. You can contact one of our digital marketing agents today and find out exactly what services we could offer you. Are you struggling with social media management, personal branding, website design, SEO? Would you like to see what paid ads might be able to do for you? Or perhaps you want to run a new campaign over email? We can handle this all for you. So get in touch today.
Should I have looked at
Stop. You do the rest of it.
you? You were smashing that. I don't want to take that over. Yeah, visitors at www.paragonsalesolutions.co.uk. I'm very blessed to have a great digital marketing team. We've got Sophia, who has come in and absolutely smashed it. And we've got Molly, who is an ever-present gem of a digital marketing whiz. If you need any help in getting more bookings, inquiries, leads, sales, anything like that, get in touch.
Hi guys, and welcome back. Thank you for listening to those short breaks. We are here still with Matt Bull, and we were just in the middle of playing our fail or fiction game. We managed to get one right, so our odds are down to 50-50 now
They
on the
are.
true or false.
I think we should be allowed to ask some more probing questions
Yeah?
into both the stories. What do you reckon? Just back onto the Stelios. Easy wipe.
Yeah.
He's a dog with a bone.
I think.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what Easy Wipe is and how it differs to all of the products?
Yeah, so what this particular business owner had done, he'd had some quite bad experience with toilet roll, and as most entrepreneurs had thought, instead of like complaining about it, I'm actually going to do something about it.
Yeah.
So he developed and patented a form of toilet roll that was sort of highly efficient on the wipe action.
Okay. Yeah.
Patented it as Easy Wipe,
Yeah.
and that's how the business started.
Yeah. that's-
Amazing. Amazing. I'm so happy.
I really hope it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay. So we've then got the Peter Jones. I
Mm.
think we need to uncover what the antique
Yeah.
is. Do you
Yeah,
think?
definitely.
Yeah. Can we ask
Okay.
what the antique was?
Yeah, it was a camera.
Okay. An antique camera.
Okay.
I'm concerned now because Matt is really good at this game. I think. What are you
Just-
thinking?
I can't get a read on anything.
No. What?
Did on the third story when he came up about the toilet paper, he sort of stuttered before he said it. I don't know. You might have been making that up as you
Would
went
I lie
along.
to you?
Yeah, but is Matt just a really good poker player?
That's
And
my concern.
And he's trying to bluff his way out of this. I mean, if I'm honest, I think the answer of the camera being the antique
sort of
is a weak answer. I think, because
Would you really go to how far would you go over a camera?
it depends. Sorry, we're talking like you're not in the room
Yeah,
now.
that's
Matt. Well, I'm just thinking, right? So if you're making up a story, right, you're going to look around what's around.
But here's the thing: the fact isn't that someone got annoyed about a camera not being included in a deal. It's who that person was.
We've lost sight.
You
of
know,
the
you
actual
can't
thing, haven't we?
lose.
Yeah.
I think it's harder now because you've got the first one is dragons, then it's the shock factor, which is why you'd make that up. But then the third one just seems wrong.
Yeah.
It seems made up.
Do you have one that speaks to you? I feel like you do, but I feel like that's not a good enough reason to choose it.
I'm now in that. Do you know when you play like rock paper scissors with people, and
Yeah.
you're trying to like triple
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
what they're gonna do and whatnot? That's the position I'm in. I'm thinking the Stelios story, in theory, should be untrue and should be false because it's an absolute crazy idea. However, then in my head it's going, that's probably the right answer because it's so stupid.
The thing is, right, that story has got, the more that we've probed, it's got crazier and crazier and crazier. Whereas story one has got more and more plausible.
Yeah, but is he doing that on purpose?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So that's where I'm going to. Do we think, or is it a red herring where
He's just being honest.
Stelios was involved in this, but easy white?
I think we have to land now.
Right, okay. Connor,
I think Stelios has got to be the lie.
You
The
think that's
lie.
a lie.
what do you think?
I think, even though I would love for it to be true, I do think that might be the lie.
The lie. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I'm happy to lock in on Stelios being the lie.
Okay.
Matt,
But we'll be really upset.
Can we ask if the Stelios story was true or false?
The Stelios story is false.
Oh, there we go. Well done, guys.
I'm amazed actually when you asked me that question that I was able to make that up about
You
someone
did
having
really well.
a bad experience with JP.
You're a brilliant liar.
Yeah,
That
the
was great.
thing is, have you had some bad experiences recently? Maybe it's just an
I don't know
idea.
why I came into it. Obviously, I thought of easy, and then why did I think of that?
Easy one. I mean, it flows.
I mean,
doesn't it?
it's what they do, isn't it? They're trying
Yeah.
they're trying to get the whole
Why I
gambit.
thought of it, but there you go.
There we go. I mean,
Yeah.
you've probably just given away a free idea to someone. So
Yeah.
it's probably
Yeah.
going, that
And
kinda
Peter
makes-
Jones, well, that's why I hesitated on the camera one, because he bought Jessop's, which is down the road.
Did he?
Jessop's head office is just down the road from here. That was
okay.
one that we did back in the day. And yeah, that did happen. There was a little cabinet on the wall with antique cameras in it. And he was adamant he was having it.
So just to probe, the story about Easy Wipe that you said, how it got patented, was that made up, or have you
The whole
just
thing.
thrown it
The whole
back?
thing's
All a lie.
All a lie.
The whole thing was
All a lie. But yeah, so that's a shame, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's a shame. So you've had these heated conversations. Can I just ask? Because did you? Obviously, it's one thing having to negotiate and have kind of deal with conflict when you're in that kind of situation. Was that made easier or worse dealing with? I'll class him as a celebrity, so to speak.
You kind of have to get over it. So the first time you get the inquiry, you get like excited about it. And then obviously you've got people around you who kind of aren't bothered. But then it just becomes quite a good experience, really, just to see how someone like that kind of operates, because he wasn't really involved. You know, he has people who came up to the site. You know, he didn't want to come to Scudamore Road in Leicester and look around a factory unit. So his guys were there. But then when we were having the debate, obviously, because it started off with his sort of right-hand man, and then it goes up the food chain, and he comes down with the voicemail messages and stuff like that. But really positive. He wasn't like, sort it out now. He was like, you know, come on, let's make it happen, Matt. But,
In
first
the
thing he
end,
starts with is Peter Jones from Dragon's
Did
Den.
you-
That's
did
funny.
you
I wish I'd kept the
concede?
voicemail message.
Oh, that'd have been so good.
Yeah.
That'd been
So,
so good.
but it's just great experience, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, really appreciate you sharing. I guess just before Phil, I've got to ask you a business-related question before we play our next game. Otherwise, it just turns into a party game. In terms of, obviously negotiation, which we'll class that as, I guess, and potentially some kind of conflict is an important skill for businesses and business owners. Is that something you work on with your clients? Is it something that you think is an important skill?
Yeah, because again, a lot of the noise TV programs are just like that. It's like you got to go in stamping your feet and, banging your hand on the table, shouting about what you want and stuff like that. Good negotiations when both parties feel like they've won. And sometimes people get hung up on money, which isn't always why the output of a deal sometimes isn't the money. So if you want to sell your business, the money's nice, but that's just a barometer actually of something. It's maybe the free time that's actually most important to you. So sometimes I'll say, look, if they've chipped it by a number, i.e. you're getting less than you want, but it's a quicker deal, i.e. they can complete very quickly. You're not going to have to be in the business for 3 years. They're saying they can get you out of the business in 3 months. The value is seeing your grandkids. Let's get the deal done. Don't worry. If you feel that they've won and you've lost, then you'll never feel happy about it. So most business owners regret their sale because they sold for the wrong reasons. That's a stat we use with the business that we use, because they sold through a point of pain, i.e. I've had enough, I want to get out. And then they actually go, God, if I'd have just met me and done some coaching, or they'd have done something different, they would have felt differently about the business. And also people don't think about what they're going to do when they've sold or exited, which is really powerful. So they don't think, I've built a business for 30 years, their identity is I'm Bob the Builder, I'm whoever I am. They then stop doing that and they get a little bit lost. So we'd big on, okay, I hope you sell your business, I hope you put someone else in to run it for you, but what are you going to do next? Who are you going to be next? How are you going to fill your time? Because people don't think like that.
Yeah. And I've come across it before, haven't we? I think we had, oh gosh, I've forgotten his name now. That's horrible, isn't it? It'll come to me. But we had a guest on quite a while ago, one of our first. Luke. Yes, thank you. Who is very big on finding out who you are. So many business owners, they put everything into their business. The second it's either taken away from them or they exit it, it's like, well, what now? What next? So, well, thanks for playing Fail or Fiction. It was probably one of the most enjoyable ones so far, with some good creative stories. Do you dare humouring me in one of my games at all?
Absolutely, yeah.
Play one of mine. So I prepared this earlier.
Right.
This game is called Mystery Mishaps. Okay. Now, the concept of the game is really, really simple. So I've done some research. I've dug into the archives and I've pulled out this one's a business, or potentially you could call it an app or a software that is either completely gone bust or had some misdemeanors or made some mistakes, and how they rectified them. I've got 5 clues to share with you. Okay. You're against Sophia.
Oh, right.
And the first one to guess which company is wins. Okay. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
And of course, if you're listening or watching at home, please do play along. There's no prizes, but do give it a go. So this is a fast-growing UK-based tech company launched in the early 2010s. Not going to tell you what they do because it will give it away too quickly. But there was a scandal. They're still going, I believe, but there was a big scandal that lost them a lot of users, lost a lot of trust. So, clue number 1. Are you ready? This company is known for its bright orange branding and catchy ad campaigns, often featuring humorous scenarios of DIY disasters. And no, it's not Easy Wipe.
Not Easy Wipe.
Any initial ideas? Do you want clue number 2?
I think I need it.
Yeah.
I think if you're ever going to get it, I think this clue is going to be it, okay?
Maybe I'll never get it.
This app connects users with verified tradespeople across a range of services from plumbing to renovations.
I think I know one.
Okay, I think I know one.
Oh,
but I
shout
think
it
it's
out before
American.
Sophia does.
Checker Trade?
Any advances on Checker Trade?
Fiverr?
The answer is Checker Trade. It is. Matt got it on clue number 2. Well, how come you knew? Was it just you thought, well, what's the only app that I know that's...
Yeah, bizarrely, because I downloaded it the other day because I got fed up with trying to contact tradespeople to come and do stuff at the house. I thought I'll see if this check and trade thing works.
Is any
You
good?
did.
Yeah,
Well-
there you go.
But the orange bit confused me because I'm pretty sure the app is not orange.
I'm sure
but-
it's like blue and yellow.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
But what happens when you mix blue and yellow? Probably not orange, is it? I don't think. Do you want the rest of the clues anyway?
Go on, yeah.
So
And then-
in 2022, journalists uncovered fake reviews and fraudulent profiles that had been approved on the platform. Clue number 4, the company then responded with a major overhaul of its verification processes, introducing stricter checks. And despite all the backlash, as you probably found, the platform remains one of the most popular tools for finding tradespeople in the UK today.
Interesting.
There you go.
go.
So
What
a
good
little
timing.
misdemeanor.
It went very. I mean, I put a job. You have to post your job or what you want doing, and like 3 people said they were like interested.
Yes. Yeah.
I was, well, what do you want me to do? Like, and then one guy contacted me, and guess what? He's the one that got the work.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
You've raised
Oh
a
my
really
gosh.
good point there, because I get that all the time. You know, I class that as just basic sales. If you
Yep.
want the work,
Mm-hmm.
go
It's
in.
how you.
Yeah.
It's how you hired me.
Was it? I can't remember now.
I'd put that I was a message
Oh,
about
yes,
saying that I was
yeah.
able to work, and loads of people sort of messaged and commented, and then Rob straight in there. Well, let's get you in for an interview then. Let's see what you're saying. And where am I working?
I know, stuck with you now. But yeah, do you get that a lot with the businesses? You like a lack of a determination to go and get it, or was it just that scenario?
I think it aligns with this the noise that's out there about actually running a business. And I like things to be simple, but making things simple sometimes is quite hard, especially if you're under pressure as a business owner. As I said, you can't see the wood for the trees, whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
That sometimes I say, okay, so we've got a shortage of leads, for example. The question is, well, how many contacts with decision makers did you make last week? I say, well, we did this. I said, no, you didn't answer the question. How many contacts did you make with prospects last week? And they don't know the number. So, well, okay. Right. How many quotes have you got outstanding, for example? Really simple question. Oh, we've got £1 million worth outstanding, 15 quotes. Okay. When was the last time you followed up on them? Not following up. I've got no cash in the bank. Okay, how much money you owed from how many people? I owed £1 million from 10 people. Okay. How often are you chasing them? So it's sometimes the simplest things
Yeah.
are what actually delivers the result. And it's so easy to go, people say to me, I'm going to do my sales strategy for next year. Right. Okay, you need a sales strategy, but you've got no activity at the moment. Why don't we start with the basics? Go simple and say, right, well, you know who most people know their target market is. Let's get some simple activity happening. You know, and then it's get moving, get doing something. Don't be paralyzed by noise and paralyzed by what Instagram tells you and all that type of stuff.
We kind of implemented something like this recently. We have recently taken on quite a few new staff, which has been brilliant for the business. But we kind of realised that not everyone then had the exact same wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And really what needed to happen was a bit of a strip back to basics. And we had not for my side of the business, but for the telesales, a big sort of reintroduction to just here's how things get done. And that's implemented a weekly kind of refresher that we're now doing.
It's the back to basics, whatever you want to call it. I don't do like sales pitches or anything like that. If I speak to a business owner, we have a conversation, I ask certain questions. I had one today. And the first question I'd normally say is, just tell me why you got into business in the first place. People can't tell you that. They can't tell you. And then they'll say, I said, okay. So you feel tell me what's happening now. I feel a bit lost. I feel a bit overwhelmed or whatever. Okay. So there's a complete connection between the two.
Yeah.
Probably went into business in the first place, more freedom, be in charge of yourself, and probably think they earn a bit more money than they would do employed.
Yeah.
Working more hours than they ever had done. They're getting paid less, probably hourly, than they ever done, and they've got no freedom because they're completely stressed out.
Yeah.
So but they've lost track along the way. My job is just to sort of sometimes hold the mirror up and go, well, if you lost track of why in business in the first place, why don't we reconnect with that? What do you want your life to be like? Let's look at this business, which is an amazing asset to deliver anyone the life they want to lead. That's what it is. It's an asset. It's a group of shares. It's use it as an investment thing, as a tool to live your life you want. Don't think this thing's got to control you.
Yeah.
And simple questions like that, holding the mirror up, can have a real shift for people.
Oh, too right. Many business owners don't run a business; their business runs them.
Yeah, completely.
I've tend to find, historically that's happened to me. Sometimes now there's the odd period, the odd week, the odd month where it does, where it just happens, but I think maybe potentially in the past, 12 months, maybe a tiny bit longer, I've tried to have that really positive shift of empowering, delegating and communicating, and sort of going back to what you said, Sophia, that's the reason why we want to kind of have these like sort of little sessions so that people can go, well, you need to take this on now because I believe in you, I trust in you. It's yours.
I listened to an amazing podcast the other day by a guy who founded, I think it's called Seedlip, it's like non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
I think it was on Abby Clancy does a podcast. And he said every employee he puts in place, he starts with 100% trust. Like 100%, not prove to me, not, I wonder if, like 100% trust. He trusts his systems, trusts his training, trusts his induction, everything like that. Because otherwise he would not be able to step up and look up.
Yeah.
Okay. I think too many business owners don't trust. They recruit, but they don't trust. Actually, there's only, if you're going to work really hard, you could probably do 70 hours a week. How's your business going to grow? Yeah. Sometimes I say to my clients, I'm like, it's not about you. Get out of the way. Let these people do their jobs. Your job is to facilitate the growth of other people to grow your business for you. Yeah. It's like, not about you. Don't be so selfish. And I say that to certain clients who need a certain type of coaching style.
Yeah.
I might soften it for other clients, but it's true. It's like, it's not about you.
Yeah.
You're trying to grow a business, not control a business.
100%. I love that. The thing I always say is like Richard Branson's not out there flying every aeroplane, is he?
Like 1,000 businesses he owns and he manages.
Just allows them to
He's
grow.
a human being. He's got a brain. What's the difference? Well, he thinks differently.
Exactly.
Why don't we try and think differently?
I've got one final last game to play with you, if we may. How are we doing on time, Mr. Producer, on the scores today?
We are 45 minutes into the show.
Perfect. So we'll play a final game. Now, we like to play a game called Jingle Tingle. Okay? Probably completely different to what you're going to expect it is. But basically, I've got 3. I can't remember if I did 4. It could be 3 today. 3 very short snippets of old adverts, old jingles, okay? Right. You've got to tell me the name of the company, the brand, the product, whatever it is. Now, I'll warn you, normally I play quite longer ones, but we've been playing this game quite a while. Our archives are getting a bit...
They're dwindling.
Okay, so these are very short snippets.
So we're adverts or songs?
So these are TV adverts from the 2000s to early 2010s.
I ask because I have a weird instinct that if you play me like sometimes less than half a second of a song, I can tell you what song it is.
Great at pub quiz.
Yeah.
Music round.
I could literally go almost on the first note. I can get it.
I mean, shall we risk any kind?
I should have said that. No, let's do
so
your
I'm
game.
Done for.
Let's do your game because I've never done a jingle tingle before. So
well, it's a similar kind of concept.
Right.
But yeah, I'll close down Apple Music. Here we go. So the very short snippets.
Okay.
I want to know the name of the product, the name of the company, name of the brand, whatever it is. Okay. As always, and again, you're competing against Sophia.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not just me. Right, okay.
No, so Sophia doesn't know what these are.
Is it straight in, or are you going to play it, then we get to guess?
I'll be honest, it's so short.
No, I'm not competitive, obviously.
It's on the edge of his seat. And of course, if you're listening or watching at home, please do play along. Are you ready for number 1?
Yep.
A-Team Snickers.
I will have to take Sophia's answer on that one. The marathon is a Snickers bar, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah,
but it was a Snickers.
It was a Snickers.
Yeah, okay. Marathon's the older name, I think, isn't it? But yeah, well done.
I was actually thinking of a Yorkie bar, so I would have got it wrong if I'd
I was almost going to say Yorkie as well. Snickers, no, it's Snickers.
You could have actually put that in for
my age
for Yorkie, couldn't you? Right, you ready for number 2?
This spin is no match for me.
Plenty. Does plenty.
Oh, sorry. Say again, sorry?
Plenty.
Plenty, yes.
Okay.
Do you remember that one?
No.
It was
Plenty?
It was a... I mean, it looks like Easy
Kitchen
White.
towel.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's that's the guy. Do you remember him?
Very good.
Juan Sheet, his name was.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
I don't know.
Oh, no. I actually
missed out.
I looked at on his IMBD profile. I just wonder what he's up to these days.
Yeah. What was I? Oh, yeah, I know. I wasn't watching a lot of TV.
No. Right.
The early professional days, so socialising.
Too busy arguing with Peter Jones.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go for the last one. Okay, this one I think you'll get. You ready?
Got it.
I don't know.
Oh, do you want to hear it again?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
yeah.
you'd get on that straight away. Okay, we'll just you might pick up a bit of Juan sheet here, but let's go again.
Oh.
118, 118.
Yeah.
118.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
118. 118. That was it. So what was that? Was that 2-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
2-1 to Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, Sophia, you're losing.
I
your
couldn't get there quick enough. I had it.
No. No, it was 2-1 to you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
saying for
Matt.
the last one.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could have taken all the credit there.
Gave me the last one.
Of course. Well, it
I
was.
was like, what's the bloody number?
It is the running men, the guys. Weirdly, you still see people dressed up as
Yeah,
the,
Halloween, they love
marathons
it.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Indeed, yeah.
You were saying a little earlier, just before we wrap up, and I want to ask you a question, just in regards to like the correlation between sort of physical fitness and well-being and business. And you mentioned off camera that you're sort of a faster.
Yep.
And you've run marathons, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
what's sort of exercise mean to you? What does that kind of mean to you in business?
I think business owners generally, we're really good at what we do, whether it's sales, whether it's coaching, whatever, and we probably can look at our business and go, you know, the finance, HR, sales, marketing sort of are all in place. Then we do planning here, but we're like the foundations to it all. And people don't give nearly enough time to themselves, but we're the most important part of it. So if you're not sleeping properly, eating properly, exercising your body, exercising your mind, you can't expect your business to grow in the way that you'd want. And that's normally the source of frustration for most business owners. There's a gap between the reality and what they thought it'd be like or their expectations. But they're not doing the work. They're not doing the work. So like the thing about, well, if you haven't got enough leads, how many calls are you making? If you're in a negative place from a mindset perspective, I'll ask somebody and say, well, what are you doing to shift that? Because the brain's a muscle as well. If you fill it with negativity, guess what? The output is going to be negative. If you put like rubbish in your mouth, guess what? The output is the same. So I'm just a big believer that I don't know where the quote's from. Like how you do anything is how you do everything. And you can't expect, if you're not disciplined with yourself, you can't be disciplined in your business. If you're showing up in your business and you know that you're not operating at your full potential, and you're all over the shop physically, you're all over the shop mentally, your relationships are all over the shop and everything like that, and then a business owner will say to me, my team aren't performing. So life's a mirror, isn't it? You know, how can you expect them to step up and perform in a way when you're not doing the same? I think it's really important. Back to what we were saying at the start about living a great life and living a happy life. Like, you know, if you're not you, but we know if we're not doing what we think we should do, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, people say to me, I might don't have time to go to the gym for an hour 3 times a week. I said, okay, do 20 minutes a day, same amount of time. Did you tell me I got 20 minutes a day? Everyone has. Everyone has 20 minutes a day. Just do something. Okay, go on YouTube. It's a great thing. Just type in 20-minute exercise and there'll be an exercise there.
Yeah.
If you do that 7 days a week, then it's more than 3 hours of exercise. So forget this gym thing getting in the way. Make it easy for yourself. Be a busy business owner, great, but 20 minutes in the mornings, great.
Yeah.
Right. Do some journaling in the evening. Don't worry about asking a load of questions. Write down what's in your head. Real small little things just make such a difference to people. And the great thing is when you grow as an individual like that, the business will grow behind you. But as I said earlier, it can't outgrow you.
I feel like I needed to hear that this afternoon, to be honest. I've put off going to the gym all week because I'm too busy. So yeah, today I'm going to take a
I had
detour.
to have the shift of I had to move to a gym that's right by me to get rid of
Make it
the
easy for yourself.
excuse. You can't have. It's already a task to go to the gym. Getting to the gym can't also be a task.
Yeah, but it does, because I'm the same. I live, so exactly where you got caught up in traffic at the minute, I live literally just near that big roundabout down the road ever so slightly. So I've got, when I'm leaving here, I can either go straight on towards the gym or I can turn right to go home. And the amount of times I've made the wrong decision of just slowly turning to the right as I get to it, instead of just going straight on, because you get that negative self-talk comes in. You go, well, if I go to the gym, that means I'm gonna have to go in the change room, get changed, then go upstairs, then work out. Oh, and then from there, do you know, you make these. I feel like I need to be in a counselling coach.
But that's a lot of what it is, because everyone wants the result like that. You want I want some food, I'll get Uber Eats. You want a taxi, I get an Uber. Okay. You don't go to the gym for now.
Yeah.
You go to the gym for 6 months, a year, 10 months time. So there's no instant gratification from it. Bizarrely, there is, because actually you do get the chemical release and all that type of stuff afterwards. As soon as you walk out, you go, I'm glad I did that. Yeah. So if you can just get that first bit done, that's why making it as easy as possible for yourself is James Clear Atomic Habits, isn't it? If you want to, don't worry about being a marathon runner, buy yourself a pair of trainers.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the marathon.
I had to say that to someone the other day. Like literally buy a pair of trainers because they're running a marathon.
Yeah. Brailsford said, didn't it? Sorry to interrupt.
No.
I had an amazing thing the other day. Brailsford, I think it was Bartlett did it used to be do a diary.
He
actually did an episode that was his diary the other day, because he was really close to Liam Payne and all this type of stuff, and he had quite a bit going on. So he actually did a diary and read it out. It's like a really good listen. But Brailsford said, pedals, not podiums. As in, if you think about it, the cycling team, all they're doing is turning pedals. So worry about how we can do that. The podium will take care of itself. It's just so true life. Actually, if you make every day great, that's good life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is turning to a great episode. I've genuinely really loved sitting down with you and chatting. And as always, the time's absolutely flown by. I'm sure there's loads of people asking, will want to know, how they can get in touch. And we'll make sure we leave some of your links in the show notes below. But how can people reach out to you? What's the best way to contact you?
Obviously, all my details are on LinkedIn, on the website, stuff like that. Just drop me an email. Let's have a chat. I'll talk to anyone. Just half an hour chat about where you're at, and I'll help as much as I can. So that's where it starts.
Amazing.
Thanks so much for joining us, Matt.
Absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Great to have you with us.
I'll try and get back for the school or pick up.
I was going to say, you can't miss that. Can't miss that. But do you want to wrap up this one up?
Yeah, I can wrap up. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of How I Failed in Business. We will be back on Friday with our overview episode. Lots of great insights I'm sure that me and Rob are going to dive into in a little bit more detail. And then we'll be back next Tuesday with another guest episode. And then after that, we're going to be actually taking a little bit of a short break for season 2, which will be coming in the new year. So keep a track on what we've got announcing for that. But yep, please, if you did enjoy this episode, go ahead and follow and leave us 5-star review. It really does help. We are also across socials at How I Failed in Business, just about anywhere. So you can check us out there. We're doing lots of fun stuff, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
All the best.